I'm going to try and capture the ripple that is happening on every book that I've wet stacked. It's probably not going to show up very well. I'm going to do my best here. Do you see that ripple through the book right there? Every single one of the books that I've wet stacked has this. You push there and it ripples there, you push there and it ripples here. So, and also notice reversion on the spine. The spine was perfect when I put it in the cold press. Let's see if I can find it here. As you can see, it's far from perfect now. You see that indentations right there? Not complete, but close to complete reversion on the spine. Let me turn it over, and you can really see it back here. See that? That is not good. Not too happy about this. So yeah, the ripple and mainly spine reversion, but I also saw some thumb bend reversion as well on the books. But there's a ripple through this whole book. So I'm going to stick it in a board and bag, see if some of that goes away, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty disappointed with wet stacking. I followed it to the letter, and I even added a little bit more to my drying process. I had one more drying press, and I left this in the cold press for 3 weeks. So you can see adding all that moisture to the book. Yeah, no bueno. And so now I'm definitely going back to the minimalist. Well, actually, I'm not going back. This is one of my test books. I'm definitely throwing out the wet stacking process. I'm just going to stick with what's been working for me. It takes longer, but, you know, perfection doesn't have shortcuts sometimes, you know. And just to show it's not a one-off, here's another example. Another book with a ripple. This is probably, I mean, it's every single one of them. I've probably done 10 of these, and every single one of them has this ripple right down the middle and complete reversion. Now, this one was my first test book, and so it's not, I never cleaned it. It was just, I'm not submitting this one. It was just as an example, but these ticks were gone when I was done. It is completely reverted back to almost what it was originally. If you look at these, look at that. That was completely flat. Let me turn this thing over. And like I said, this is just a test book. It's a mid-grade, probably a 7.0, 6.0, something like that. But yeah, look, this was nice and perfectly flat when I was done. This thing had a lot of thumb bends, and they're back. A lot of them are. Some of them might still be gone, I'm not sure. But yeah, all this was perfectly flat, and it's just, you can just tell this book has water damage to it now. And all I did was exactly what the directions of James W. were on this. I didn't do anything extra, just exactly, you know, humidity tank, all that good stuff with the sheets of copy paper. But this thing was perfect when I stuck it in the cold press 3 weeks ago. And it's caused a ripple, and I don't know if I can get this out. Maybe I'll test if I can fix this. But this could be permanent damage, and oh man. So this wet stacking thing has diverted my resources and attention for 6 weeks or whatever now. And at least we're able to eliminate it as something we should be doing. At least the way it is right now, unless somebody can come up with a way to avoid this. You know, this isn't worth the risk. And it's a shortcut. It's actually not really that much of a shortcut, because by the time you go through all the, you know, wet stacking presses, like sometimes 3, 4, 5 times, and then you have to go through the drying process, then you have to come back and do your repairs and everything. It's probably a wash. It may be quicker on a heavily damaged book, but I think it's actually slower on moderate to light damaged books. So that's my 2 cents.